Today we're going to look into how to round a decimal to a certain place value. When we're rounding numbers, we know that we want to look first at the digit in the next lower place. If that digit is 5 or more, we increase the digit in the place being rounded to by 1. If that digit is 4 or less, we do not change the digit in the place value that the number is being rounded to. That number would stay the same, and all the following digits would be rounded down. So, let's look at a number that we'd all be familiar with, 639. If I wanted to round this to the hundreds place, I'm going to look next door to the next lower place value, which is the 3. And 3 is 4 or less. So that means that I am not going to change the place value I'm rounding it to, which is my 6, but everything else is going to be rounded down. So 639 is approximately or about 600. And remember, this is the symbol that we use for about or approximately, that we use when we do estimation. Okay, let's take a look at another example here. 1.6. If we wanted to round 1.6 to the ones place, we want to look next door to the next lower place value. A 6 is 5 or more, so we're going to round this up. This would become 2. Okay, let's look at this example here, 1.54. Let's round this number to the 1 decimal place. Your book will always state it in this way, the 1 decimal place. The 1 decimal place is the same as asking for the tenths. So we want to round this number to the tenths. So looking at the 5, that's the place that we want to round to. So we're going to look to the next lower place value, which is our 4. Our 4 is 4 or below, so that means we're going to round this number down and keep the 5, which is in the tenths place, the same. So this is approximately 1.5. Remember, we don't have to write this 0 here because it doesn't change the value of the number. So we would just write 1.5 or 1 5/10. Okay, let's take a look at this one here. We have 2.728 kilograms. I want to round this number to the ones, to the tenths, and to the hundredths. If I'm rounding this to the ones, I want to look at my 1. I'm going to look at the next lower place value, which is a 7. 7 or higher is going to be rounded up, so this would be approximately 3. Now let's take a look at rounding this to the tenths place. We want to take a look at our tenths, next lowest place value. That means we're going to round that 2 down and keep our 7 the same. So this is approximately 2.7. Last one, let's take a look at rounding this number to the hundredths. Let's take a look at our hundredths here. We have a 2. Next lower place value is an 8, so we're going to want to round this number up. So it's going to become, it's approximately 2.73. Again, we don't write the 0 after it because it does not change the value of the number. Okay, let's try this one here. Same thing. We want to round this one to the ones, to the tenths, and to the hundredths. If we're rounding this to the ones, we're going to look next door, next lower place value. 5 or higher means we're going to round this number up. So it would become approximately or about 7. Now we want to round this number to the tenths. Same process. 0 is 4 or below, so this would become approximately 6.5. And the last one, we want to round to the hundredths. So we're going to look next door. That's 4 or below, so we're going to round this number down to a 0. So if we round that number down to a 0 and keep our hundredths place the same, we're going to end up with approximately 6.5. Because remember, if we're keeping the 0 the same, it would be 6.50, but we don't actually need that 0 there because it doesn't add any value to our number. So it becomes 6.5 because we have a 0 in the hundredths place. Okay, take out your notebook. I want you to give these a try on your own. Complete these in your notebook. The ones in green, you're going to round each of those numbers to the nearest whole number. Those in orange, you're going to round each of those numbers to the 1 decimal place. In your notebook, make sure you label these. Actually, we can call this number 1 and we can call this number 2. So make sure that you label them 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, and 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D. All right, you can pause the screen as you complete them, and make sure you bring this in with you tomorrow and turn it in for homework.